Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another live this morning. We appreciate you folks coming on with us, and always fun, guys. And let's wait for a few to come on. I can't say hello this morning because it's going to roll by me, and I don't have another device. And good morning. Okay, you're getting your notifications. If you can, give me a thumbs up that you can. There you go. You can hear me and see me. Okay, we love you guys. So many good questions that we had for Q&A Friday and Q&A Monday. And okay, good to have you on. I'll just wait a second. If you can let everyone know, okay, that if they can't get on live with us, they can watch The Doctor Is In on their favorite device, right? The podcast, The Doctor Is In. Thank you for making that so popular. We appreciate that. Millions of downloads on The Doctor Is In. The Facebook Live here, we have 90,000 likes. And anyway, thanks guys for coming on, and we appreciate you guys following with us. You know who you are. I don't have to do a roll call every day, do I? Okay. Thanks again. We love you. And I'm just reading, I got a couple of studies I want to talk to you about. In the journal Annals of Rheumatology, kind of interesting. I tell you, flew under the radar here. And do you know that insulin resistance affects your joints? Okay? Arthritis. What has insulin got to do with arthritis? I think somebody was asking yesterday, they have arthritis in their spine, and we talked about that. Give an answer there and get your muscles strong. But listen to this, okay? This is studying arthritis and insulin resistance, okay? Now listen. Here's what the study said. Joints can develop insulin resistance. Wow. Okay? And what happens is the synovial fluid, okay, so that fluid in between the joints, synovial fluid, can no longer suppress inflammation. So food has a major effect on your synovial fluid, thus your joints. Now we know this too, because we have talked a lot about this over the years, glycation of the joints. Okay, so glycation is a process where sugar attaches to protein molecules. Okay, we call that glycation. So sugar, you know it, I know it, is very destructive. Especially the antichrist of sugars called high fructose corn syrup, which is the sugar of choice. And you know, a lot of people say, well, all sugars is the same. No, it's not. Fructose. I was reading something the other day on fructose. High fructose corn syrup goes across even in the placenta. Can be destructive. Is there anything good about high fructose corn syrup? No. Okay? But let's get back to glycation before we talk about insulin resistance, okay? They go together to some extent because glycation, guys, literally happens in your blood every day, where sugar attaches to your red blood cells. We can test that. It's called your A1C. Okay? You know how much I love A1C because I believe it's the blood sugar test that's the best. Now, you can do an insulin test. You can do fasting insulin test. I like that. Okay? But what I like even better is A1C testing. Because A1C testing tells you about glycation. Sugar molecules in your blood attach to hemoglobin. Yeah, your oxygen molecule actually hitches its wagon to it. And you can measure it. And I've talked to you about glycation of the red blood cells and glycation of the joints. Orthopedic surgeons have called it caramelization of joints. You know, when they're doing surgery, they look at a joint and they go, man, look at the destruction already in that joint. And a lot of it comes in the process of AGE, capital A, capital G, capital E, apostrophe, small s. Advanced glycation end products. I know, sounds, I don't want to get into the weeds too much, okay? But just understand this. I've been studying this for a lot of years. Advanced glycation end products. And glycation, guys, is not really that hard to understand because you can see it. Not only, you know, an orthopedic guy will see it in a joint, but you can see glycation the way your skin, for example, ages and you lose its elasticity. And you can get, for example, brown spots on your skin. That's glycation, guys. Now, we all have some. It's normal. As we age, you're going to glycate even more. But what I really appreciated about the study here in the Journal of Rheumatology is that they were talking about not even glycation, they were talking about insulin resistance. That your joints, the synovial fluid in your joints, can develop what they call insulin resistance. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they said. Yes, they said. And they can't suppress inflammation like they used to. Now, insulin resistance, guys, is a food condition. You develop insulin resistance when you're a carboholic, when you consume too much sugar, when you consume too many crappy carbs, when you consume too much bread and pasta and noodles. Guys, noodles are just sugar molecules holding hands. Okay? Dr. Martin, it's whole wheat. I don't care. It's just sugar molecules holding hands. And a lot of people over the years, okay? A lot of people over the years have discovered that their joints get better when they change fuels, when they get off the sugars, when they get off. Okay, so you have insulin resistance, okay? How do you get insulin resistance? When you're eating too many carbs. How does it happen? Well, carbs rapidly, soda, okay? Bread, muffins, bagels, pasta, cereals, okay? They all turn to sugar in nanoseconds. What happens? Your body cannot let sugar stay in your bloodstream. It can't. It sweeps it out. Insulin comes in with a broom. Out, 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 out. Can't have sugar in your bloodstream. Stay there. It's in a no parking zone. Why? Because your blood vessels are very susceptible to destruction when sugar is left unattended in your blood. Your body knows that, guys. Oh, moderation, Dr. Martin. Everything in moderation. Well, your body don't believe that. You might believe that, but your body doesn't believe that. Because if sugar is there, it must come out. If you were to empty your 5 liters of blood, okay? If you were to empty all your blood out of your body, on the best of days, you got an eensy, weensy, teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Is that a song? That's a song. No, but you only have a little bit of eensy weensy amount, a teaspoon of sugar in 5 liters. And your pancreas and your insulin is dedicated to keeping sugar tightly regulated. Because your body's smart. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't mind telling you that. All you have to do is study insulin. I was always fascinated by insulin. Remember, my dad was a diabetic. I understood insulin when I was in high school. Well, I didn't understand too much, but I knew it was important. My dad used to tell me, son, I have sugar diabetes. And then I got to school and they tried to change the name of it, and they did eventually call it type 2 adult onset diabetes. And I used to tell the professors that were teaching us nutrition, I said, well, hey, wait a minute. It's sugar diabetes. So I understood insulin way back. My dad was a diabetic. My grandfather was a diabetic. Son, it's sugar. Okay. I watched my dad cut out sugar. He just didn't have it anymore. He liked it. How do you think he became a diabetic? He liked it. So I got the memo. I went to school. I was already convinced. And then they were trying to teach me something different. I said, well, you can try, but you're not going to convince me. So sugar left unattended, guys, in the bloodstream, insulin's got a job to do. It's the traffic cop. It will come in and it will take sugar out of the bloodstream and store it. Okay? We all know that. Well, if you insist, or when I say you guys, you know I'm not aiming at you. I'm aiming at the world out there. When those people insist on eating sugar, crappy carbs, sugars added, and whatever, okay? Bread, pasta, rice, cereal, sugar, sweets, pastries, muffins, bagels, you name it, juice, soda. What happens? Sugar in their coffee. What happens? Insulin comes in. It's got no choice. It doesn't care whether you like it or not. Insulin will not allow your sugar to stay in your bloodstream. So it says, sugar, come with me. Out, out, out. You're going to be parked. Usually in the parking lot of Costco. Your liver. Anywho. So, you don't change your diet. The world out there doesn't change their diet. What happens eventually? They develop a condition called insulin resistance. Why? Because at the cellular level, your cells are sick and tired of being sick and tired of watching insulin come around all the time. The bad neighbor. Oh no, they're knocking at the door again. Your cells say, I hate you. Go away. And you know what insulin says to them? I don't care if you hate me or not. If you decide to eat that way, I have a job to do, and I'm coming back and again and again and again. I don't care what you think of me. I won't allow you to have sugar in the bloodstream. I'm trying to park it. Cells develop insulin resistance, and that creates, and guys, that puts you on a ship called the Titanic. It puts you on a boat. And it's now floating in waters full of icebergs. Cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. Okay, we know that. But what this study is saying, and in a medical journal, I just about passed out when I read it. What this study is saying, and one of the effects of insulin resistance, never mind inflammation, of course, is inflammation of the joints. Joints get affected by insulin resistance. Now, we already knew that joints get affected by glycation. Now you got a double whammo. You got glycation, sugar molecules attaching. Okay, sugar molecules attaching to joints. And then you have inflammation from insulin resistance. Your synovial fluid in your joints can't suppress inflammation. Well, inflammation after a period of time, like in glycation, destroys joints. Now, it's not the only thing that destroys joints, of course. You injure yourself. Okay. That's a factor for sure. Old bobos, injuries. Okay? We get that. But I find it interesting for many reasons to take care of your diet, for joints even, for skin, glycation. Okay? Sugar is as destructive as smoking for skin because of glycation. Wow. Okay? So obviously, you want to change fuels. Your joints will thank you when you change fuels. When you go from a high carb diet to a low carb diet. I'm not saying no carbs. I'm not saying that. Do no carbs for 30 days. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Do a no carb for 30 days. Do the reset. And guys, I don't back off on that. I'm more convinced today than I was when I developed the program, how many years ago? 15? In my office for diabetics? It's more than 15 years ago. I convinced diabetics, or at least I tried to, listen, you have an allergy to carbs. Diabetes is an allergy to carbs. You like them, but they hate you. Carbs hate your guts. They literally hate your guts. Okay. And I've been trying to convince people. I started with diabetics in my office because, again, I bring you back to my father. I knew what to do. And I specialized almost in diabetics for years and years. Convincing them that it wasn't bad luck that they were a diabetic. It wasn't autoimmune like a type 1 diabetic. I said, no, you have adult onset diabetes, which is sugar diabetes. Get off the stinking sugars. And anything that turns to sugar rapidly, that's just sugar molecules holding hands. You see a piece of bread? It's just sugar molecules holding hands. You and bread don't get along anymore. What? I love bread. I know you love bread. That's why you're a diabetic. Doc, I love pasta. I know you love pasta. Too bad, so sad. You don't get along with it. Have pasta with meat only. They didn't like that. Well, I said, you'll get used to it. Look at the noodles and leave them. Leave them behind. You'll thank me later. How can I live, Dr. Martin, without pasta? Well, I said, I married an Italian girl, and I call her the Italian stallion, and I love pasta, but it don't love me. So I don't live on it. My wife makes a pasta sauce, to die for. And load it up with meat. That's what I live on. That's what I have. Because like I said, I got diabetes coming out both ears. So you have glycation. You have inflammation, destructive to joints. You have insulin resistance, destructive to joints. Guys, you really hit a lot of different targets when you go low carb eating. And it's not a matter of only going low carb, guys, okay? Because like keto's low carb. I don't like keto per se because they allow you to eat all these, processed foods that are just, they don't have a lot of carbohydrates. I don't like that stuff. I don't like keto bars, and I don't. You know what, guys? I like eggs. I like meat. Every piece of meat that you can think of is better than any granola bar or chocolate bar that you can think of. Oh, Doc, it's a keto bar. Nah, have a piece of meat. It's much better than that keto bar. Let me tell you. Because I'm a fuel guy. It's not a matter of just lowering your carbohydrates. I like that, of course. But you lower it and you substitute. You go from eating a high carb diet. And look, guys, you can have fruits and vegetables. People go, Doc, you don't like fruits? No, you can have some. You can have God's candies, a little bit of fruit. I just don't want you to live on fruit. I don't want you to live on vegetables. Because the world out there doesn't know what they're talking about. When they tell you about the superiority of the vegetable kingdom, the plant kingdom. Plants are good. Plants are good. But they're not great. They're good. Great is an egg. Great is meat. Great is dairy. And I mean good dairy, like cheese, like butter. That's great, guys. That's great food. And nutritionally and vitaminally and minerally and you name it, Lee, it's the best. It's so anti-inflammatory. Oh, Dr. Martin, isn't dairy inflammatory? No. It's not inflammatory. Who told you that? It's not. So, guys, I love this study in the Journal of Rheumatology. Again, the benefits of changing fuel. The benefits are legion, guys. Amazing what happens to your body when you cut out the crappy carbohydrates and you change that fuel. You got the high octane fuel. You don't get a lot of oxidation with it. You don't get a lot of free radical damage. You're going to get much less inflammation. You're going to get much less glycation. You're going to help with insulin resistance. You can turn insulin resistance around in 30 days at the cellular level. Proven. And by the way, when you go on the reset, we aim at the pancreas so that your insulin takes a holiday. But here's what happens too. Your A1C goes down. The glycation. And that's not just in your blood. That's in your joints. It goes down. In your skin, it goes down. Glycation goes down. It's measurable, guys. Your triglycerides, your dangerous fat balls go down. Your Amazon trucks on the highways and byways of your blood vessels go up. You get more cholesterol flowing through your blood. Doc, isn't cholesterol bad? No. They're in your blood vessels transporting all your hormones. Plus, on the way back, they deliver your hormones. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol. They need transport, guys. Cholesterol transport. And then on the way back, they hitch their wagon, okay, to triglycerides, and they bring them back to the liver for processing. You don't want low cholesterol. Why would you want a low cholesterol? You don't want low cholesterol. Anywho. Okay. I love that. Okay. So guys, I wanted to comment on other studies this morning and I got sidetracked. Okay. But I get on these diatribes because I see stuff like this and I really turns my crank, guys. It really turns my crank. We're on the right road. The nutrition road. Okay? We're on it. And you're on it with me and I love it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Tell your friends, share this. They got joint problems, share it with them. They got pain they can't get rid of? Share this. And it will become a podcast so they can listen to the doctors in podcasts on their favorite smart device. Now, guys, you got questions for me? Fire away. Send them to info@martinclinic.com. Okay? Send them there. They get to me for our Q&A sessions. Okay? Always popular. It's amazing. Okay? Okay, guys. I'm finally breathing. Okay, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon.